Jessica here from Yoga Next Door in Maine. I'm trying to make these little yoga breaks timeless, but I must acknowledge that it is early May and it is snowing outside this morning. May 2020, if this goes into the archives. And this little yoga break is in honor of Mother's Day. And the focus of this little mini flow is Goddess Pose. As we all are going to remember, May 2020, we were in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. We've all been sheltering at home for the past 2 months. And as moms, we have really had to be stronger than we ever have before, because we're experiencing new roles, dealing with our family's emotions as we're all home together, and it's been a lot. So this flow, I picked Goddess Pose because Goddess Pose not only gives us lots of great shoulder opening, hip opening, and strengthening for the core and the lower body, but it stimulates our solar plexus chakra, which is our power center. And I feel like we as moms need to tap in to our inner power right now more than ever, to find the strength to take care of ourselves and stay calm and grounded so that we really can be our best selves for our kids who are also feeling emotional and dealing with homeschooling and being home in a variety of ways. So this flow goes out to all you amazing moms. Keep up the great work. My heart goes out to you. We are going to start on our backs this afternoon. I'm gonna get used to that, whatever time of day it is for you. When you are accessing this yoga break, I'm gonna lay down and plant the feet by the sit bones. I invite you to put one palm on your abdomen and the other on your heart, and close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out through the nose. Finding an audible breath here, an Ujjayi breath, which makes a little vibration on the back of the throat on the inhale and the exhale. And just before we begin to move, take a moment to tune in with how you're feeling this morning, this afternoon, whenever you're practicing. No judgment. And if you're feeling elevated or anxious at all, you can always lengthen your exhales longer than your inhales to help calm the nervous system down and feel grounded on your mat or grounded at any point in your day. So we're going to relax the hands down by the side body, widening the feet to the edges of the mat. And we're going to gently windshield wiper the legs from side to side, keeping the motions in time with your breath. Just taking it nice and slow here. This is one of my favorite stretches because we're giving the outside of the hip joints a nice massage, getting the low back moving a little bit, but lowering the knees down also provides some nice opening for our hip flexors. So it's a great way to get those hips prepared to move for our practice this morning, this afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. And then we'll bring the knees back up to center. And we're going to extend the left leg long on the mat and inhale, hug the right knee in towards the chest. Pausing here and just breathing into your stretch. So we're hugging the knee into the chest, and depending on your flexibility level, maybe you hug it a little more down and out towards the armpit. And then we're gonna release the strong hold on the knee. Ground the left hand by the left hand side of the body. Right hand comes to the top of the right knee. And we're going to use the hand to guide the knee in circles. So to begin this stretch, I want everybody to just relax the muscles around the hip joint. So we're trying to get those muscles to release, so we're not fighting against the movement of the hip joint in the hip socket. And then take it in the opposite direction, guiding the knee and the hip with the hand. Now I invite you to engage through the low belly, and we're going to remove the hand from the knee and continue taking the knee in circles. So we went from a relaxation movement to now a strengthening movement. So now all the muscles around the hip joint are firing to move the knee in the circle. So switch and go in the opposite direction. So flexibility is a balance of stretching and strengthening. And I love starting class with these little knee and hip circles because they provide us a little of both. And then we'll extend the right leg long on the mat. Inhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Just holding that knee down towards the torso, maybe bringing it a little out to the side if that is in your range of motion. Just being here for a couple rounds of breath, keeping the breath in and out through the nose. And then we'll release the intensity of the hold on the left knee, grounding the right palm to the mat beside us, bringing the left hand to the top of the left knee, consciously relaxing the hip muscles around the left hip joint and guiding the knee in circles with the left hand. So this requires a certain degree of focus and concentration to make sure you are letting the hand do the work and the muscles around the hip are relaxing. So take it in the opposite direction, focusing on letting those muscles go and letting the hand do the work. Continuing to breathe in and out through your nose. And then we're going to release the hand from the left knee and switch to strengthening mode. So taking the knee in the circles and then switching directions. Probably feeling the hip begin to fatigue a little bit, but breathing into it a little bit longer, trying to keep the circles in control and tidy, even though the muscles are getting a little tired. And then we'll stretch the left leg long on the mat. Inhale the arms up and over, finding a nice full body stretch here, and a deep inhale and exhale. And then we're gonna roll over onto the belly to find a wide-kneed child's pose. So goddess pose, we are preparing to take the legs wide. So we're opening up the hips to help facilitate that. Child's pose, relaxing the hips down towards the heels, melting the heart center down, grounding the forehead to the mat, and stretching the hands long. For some of us, it's much harder to get the hips down low like that, depending on our mobility issues. So whenever I cue child's pose, instead you can come into puppy pose, keeping the hips high, stretching the hands away, and focusing more on length through the spine, but gently guiding and working on that flexibility for the hips and trying to get them a little closer down towards the heels. So finding puppy or child and just melting into your stretch here for a moment. I like child's pose because once we get down there, we can just melt into the floor and let gravity do some of the work and stretching for us here. And then we'll rise up, finding table pose, planting the knees right under the hips, hands right under the shoulders, and we're gonna find some quick cat-cows. So inhale, lifting the tailbone, relaxing the belly, opening through the chest, gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, arching through all the parts of the spine, tucking the chin. Inhaling back to cow. And exhaling to cat. Grounding the tops of the feet into the mat, pushing the floor away, eking out as much space in the spine as you can. Let's do one more cow, and then one last cat pose. And come back to a neutral spine. We're going to widen the hands to the edges of the mat, externally rotating through the shoulders and trying to get the eyes or the inside of the elbows facing the end of the mat. So we're nice and open through the chest here. Then we're going to tuck the toes, engage the core, and lift up into a down dog. Adjusting your alignment here, finding the right distance between your hands and your feet for your body. Pedaling the feet and the heels up and down to help open the backs of the legs and get the hips and the low back moving some more. But then finding some stillness in your down dog. Really grounding completely through the hands, lifting the sit bones up, and then relaxing the heels down to the mat, feeling that yummy stretch for the calf muscles, and breathing here. And then we're going to widen the feet to the edge of the mat. Walk the hands back towards the feet and find ourselves in Malasana, squat pose. So relaxing the hip bones down, lifting and opening through the chest. This is another one that can be really hard based on your mobility in your hips. So it's fine if you're here. It's fine if you bring a block under your sit bones, a block or two for a little extra support. So finding your Malasana pose, and then we're going to ground the hands to the mat, heel toe the feet in, lifting halfway on an inhale, exhale, forward fold, letting the crown go, gently shaking the head from side to side so you know you've let your neck muscles release. Probably have a nice little bend in the knees still as those hamstrings begin to open. And then we'll inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Rising halfway on an inhale. Exhale, palms to the mat. Walking your hands out to plank pose. Lifting the hips up so you're not hanging on the low back here. Puffing up through the shoulder blades to find a lot of strength through the back body. And then lowering down to the mat with control. Grounding the feet, lifting the knees, engaging the low back, rising to cobra pose. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come through child's pose or puppy. And then we'll exhale, rise back to down dog. Finding your alignment, finding your breath, finding your focus here. Taking the feet wide again, walking the hands back to the feet, and sitting in to Malasana pose. So sinking the hips down, finding length through the spine, opening through the chest here, and then exhale, grounding the palms to the mat, heel toe the feet in, lifting halfway on an inhale, nice flat spine, exhale, forward fold. Letting the neck go, maybe walking the torso in a little closer to the legs this time, and inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, palms to heart center. This time we're going to do a slightly different forward fold. We're going to take the feet wide off the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Grounding the hands to the mat here. Lifting the sit bones up, walking the hands in towards the feet. Letting the head go. And then we're gonna walk the hands out under the shoulders, first finding a long spine, but then take it a little farther, and with the hands extended past the shoulders, exhale, shift the hips up and back, finding what I like to call a wide leg down dog stretch. And then from here, we're gonna shift the torso back forward so the shoulders come over the hands. Step one foot back onto the mat, and then the other, and then lower down to the mat with control. Rising on an inhale, exhale, come down. Inhale, come through puppy or child's pose. And rise up to down dog. Adjusting and finding your alignment, back and down dog. Taking a couple rounds of breath in and out through the nose, and then widening those feet wide to the edges of the mat, walking the hands back, finding Malasana squat pose, grounding the hands, heel toeing the feet in, lifting up halfway in an inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Hugging the torso, close into the tops of the legs, and then inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Exhale, palms to heart center. We're going to do one more set of those fun wide leg forward fold, plank, wide leg down dog. So we'll inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthening on the way down, and then walking the hands back in line with the feet. Taking a couple breaths here, and then walking the hands out to under the shoulders, but then taking it about 6 inches farther, shifting the hips back, finding the wide leg down dog stretch, and then shifting the shoulders right over the hands, stepping the feet back onto the mat to find your plank pose, and flowing through. Lowering on an exhale, rising on an inhale, exhale, come down, inhale, come through child's pose, and exhale, rise to down dog. Finding your alignment here, finding your focus, feeling this posture radiating through your whole body, starting from the core and extending out to the hands and the heels. And this time we're going to bend the knees, engage the core, walking to the top of the mat, lifting up halfway on an inhale, exhale, forward fold, letting the head go, hugging the torso in, and then inhale, rising all the way up to standing. Exhale, palms to heart center. So now we're going to ground down through the right foot, stepping the left foot back to warrior one. Rotating the hips to face the end of the mat, back foot at a 45-degree angle. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, pulse the elbows down, opening through the chest, gaze to the ceiling. Inhale, arms up, and then open to warrior two. Both feet on the balance beam here. Gaze forward, looking out over the right fingertips. Breathing here, engaging the pelvic floor to find more strength. And then we're going to straighten the right knee, point the toes out to the side, pivot the heels in, and sink down into goddess pose. So here we are, trying to keep those heels under the knees and lowering your hips as low as feels good to your body, trying to keep the hips neutral, pelvis not tilting back or forward. And then we're going to ground the right elbow to the right knee, inhaling the left arm up and over, come through center, taking a break if you need it, pulsing down, side angle goddess to the left hand side. And then we'll come back through center, rising up, relaxing the hands down, pivoting the toes to the top of the mat, and then stepping forward. This time, we're gonna have the left foot forward, right foot back, warrior one, sinking in to the right knee, finding the right distance between your feet so your hips can stay facing the end of the mat. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, pulse the elbows down towards the side body, opening through the chest, gaze to the ceiling. Inhale, lift up through the arms and the spine. Exhale, open to warrior two. Checking in with your alignment, keeping the knee in line with the toes and right above the ankle. And then breathing into the integrity of your stretch and your pose here. Another great strength building pose. And then we will bring the bend out of the front knee, rotate the toes to the side, pivot the heels in, and sink back into goddess pose. Finding your goddess legs, finding that solar plexus chakra, lifting through the chest, engaging through the core here, and then we'll exhale, hinge over to the right, finding a goddess side angle. Inhale, come through center, lifting up if you need a break. Exhale, pulsing down, and then finding side angle to the second side. And then we'll come back through center, rising up, relaxing the arms down. And this time, just staying facing sideways, bringing the heels in a little bit farther to find one more Malasana pose. So we're going to exhale, sink down into our squat pose. And this time we're going to ground the right hand by the right foot. Inhale the left arm up, gently pushing into that right thigh to find a little more opening. And then we'll come back to center, grounding the left hand, inhaling the right arm up, gently pushing into the inside of the left leg with the left elbow. And then we'll come back through center and find our way onto our seats, extending the legs long, flexing the toes back towards the face, lining them all up. Baby toe in line with the big toe over time. Inhale, lift the arms up, finding as much length through the side body as you can. And then exhale, forward fold. Letting the hands land where they will, but then using them to maybe eke out a little more length through the spine here. Let the neck muscles go. Let the head hang heavy. And breathe in and out through your nose. Calm inhales and exhales. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the body, bringing the legs into Sukhasana, easy pose. Finding one last forward fold, inhaling the arms up, exhale, forward fold, stretching the hands away from the sit bones, exploring the differences for your body with the legs in this position in a forward fold. And then we'll walk the hands back towards the torso, lifting the chest up, putting the palms facing up on the knees. If you need more energy, you're receiving here, or palms facing down if you want to feel more grounded at the end of our practice. We started this mini flow with a little attention to the breath, and we're going to close it the same way. So palms facing down, lifting through the spine, opening through the chest, gently tucking the chin, crown to the ceiling, closing your eyes, and beginning to breathe consciously in and out through the nose. Just meditating on the breath here. Maybe finding those longer exhales to help calm and ground you for the rest of your day. Maybe staying right here and meditating a little longer. Just focusing the mind on one point, letting it not think about anything else. It's an amazingly simple and powerful practice. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this yoga break. Please go to yoganextdoor.wordpress.com to check out my other online yoga offerings. Be well.